City of Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.20, Handicap Parking, Schedule 39, Parking Zones for Handicapped Persons at 14 North Ward Street.
Move the ordinance setting down August 16th at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Then we have an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 5, Business Licenses and Regulations, Chapter 5.80, Rent Control, various amendments.
Move the ordinance setting down August 16th at 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Number 3, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 5, Business Licenses and Regulations, Chapter 5.08, Alcoholic Beverage Licenses, Section 5.08.090, Sunday. One-time modification to Ordinance 5.08.090, permitting alcoholic beverage to be served beginning at 8 a.m. on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, due to Rutgers football game at 12.
Move the ordinance setting down August 16th, 2023, 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. In ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.16, Stopping, Standing, and Parking, Section 10.16.50, Schedule 29, Time Limit Parking, Parking Meters. This is in reference to Albany Street, Bayer, Church Street, Dennis, Elm Road, Liberty Street, Livingston, Middleton, Patterson, Richmond Street, and Spring Street.
Move the ordinance setting down August 16th, 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Number 5 is an ordinance amending Ordinance 147.802, fixing salaries and wages of various employees represented by the Municipal Employees Association for January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2026.
Move the ordinance setting down Wednesday, August 16th, 2023, 5 p.m., same date to be advertised. Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskins.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Thank you. Now we're going into resolutions. We have resolutions 1 to 31. Before I open up the meeting for public comment, I would ask Mr. Dominguez if you could give us a summation of resolutions 14 and 15.
Certainly. So, as a quick summation, the first one for the $150,000 is for to expand clean team services and separate it out from the regular. Okay, so I'll backpedal to give some more context that I think is important. So the clean team project that we've had for many years now, it services what was originally funded through the urban enterprise zone and covered the urban enterprise zone, even though that program was expired by the Christie administration and now brought back. And we found ways to keep it afloat during that time, but we covered that same area. But the bulk of that attention was in the Special Improvement District downtown. What number 14 does is funding for, from the UEZ, from the Urban Enterprise Zone program, again from the state, that enables us to have a special detail that essentially focuses strictly on the aspects of that area, but outside of the SID. So we're talking about more emphasis on East and more emphasis on French Street, Remsen, and parts of George that are outside of the SID. Whereas 15 is sort of spinning off the contract, and that's our portion of what we used to do as a tri-party agreement with City Market for the downtown special improvement district, and then City Market will enter into an agreement with the parking authority for their portion of the cleaning costs. And that's sort of what's going on with these two resolutions.
Thank you. Mr. Bruce, can you talk a little bit, I need was information also about the resolution 30?
Sure. Resolution 30, the MEA contract.
Yes.
So the leadership and membership of the Municipal Employees Association, the MEA, have ratified the negotiated collective bargaining agreement for years 23, 24, 25, and 26, and the same is now being presented to you for your approval. The following are the main changes in the contract being presented. As it relates to wages, the agreement calls for a 2.6% increase for each of the years in the contract beginning in 2023. The health and prescription, effective January 1st, the city will freeze Chapter 78 healthcare contributions at for 2024 to 2023 amounts, and then do so again one more time in the contract in 2025. Beginning in 2024, Juneteenth will be swapped for Lincoln's birthday in the contract as a paid holiday and will be observed in accordance with New Jersey's observance of the holiday. There is a change for animal control to align on-call practices with that of other similar fire inspector on-call practices in the contract. There is a salary adjustment to be made in addition to the increases for city employees within salary ranges 8 to 20, hired between January 1st, 2019, and that's to happen in 2024, and then again in 2025 for the same ranges. The adjustments are in response to the MEA's request that current employees who have been with the city have a differential in salary compared to new hires. There are a number of titles that are amended, some of which are because the jobs have changed and the civil service requirements have changed, and we're introducing new titles to accommodate the needs of the organization, and some of them are titles that are eliminated for the same reasons they're no longer accepted by civil service. The city and the union also agreed that for certain CDL, holders of CDL licenses receive a benefit if they are doing that work outside their title. The city has also this year introduced an in-house training program for CDL. It's for CDL people wishing to seek it with management approval, and some reimbursement for costs associated with that. This is, as you remember, through the pandemic, CDL drivers were very difficult to maintain, and the city has rebounded nicely from that and wants to continue that program. There will be an increase in the cap for education reimbursements up to $3,000 annually for 50%. And so those are the high points, and if any questions, I'm glad to answer them.
Thank you. Do any of my fellow council members have any questions or any comments on the resolutions? So at this time, we are prepared to open the meeting to public comment on the resolutions only. You have up to 5 minutes per person, one time off. If any members of the public wish to speak on the resolutions, please approach the council.
Evening, Council. Charlie Prattville, New Brunswick today. I'd like to start by asking about the liquor license in number 7. Which liquor license might this be? How long has it been inactive?
Council President, this liquor license was previously known as Tassos Island Wildfire Grill, and it has been inactive since 2012.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be grateful that there is a traffic signal going in at French and Prospect. It appears, as early as tomorrow they'll start that work, and it's been a long time coming. I'm glad it's going in, and I just want to take the opportunity to remind the council that we really desperately need one at the new school as well before it opens next month. I'd like to ask about number 16, the PRAB Fair Housing and Counseling Services. Can you tell me where folks can get those services and what they have to do to get them?
The
So the fair housing services are a required service that, as part of getting our CDBG entitlement money, that we have to either provide in-house or have an organization to provide for the residents of the community. Crab's been doing it for decades for us. Since Crab moved, I believe that Crab does either, I think, go on site to their East Brunswick location, but they've been doing, I think, the bulk of this work either via telephone or Zoom digital conferencing with people who are looking for the counseling services.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I just continue to say that it's a shame that organization, was pushed out in New Brunswick. And I understand they do have a location part-time with a church, and I wanted to understand if these services can be obtained there.
I'm not familiar with whatever part-time location they have at the church. I can find that out, but I'm unsure of that.
Maybe that's something that you could communicate with the Puerto Rican Action Board and ask them.
Sure.
If they're willing to do that.
Thanks, that's a good idea. Curious about number 20, some changes to the conditions for the temporary closure of George Street. What prompted this, and what's changing?
So we're looking to make some modifications, two related modifications regarding the fencing. After reviewing the conditions on site and notifying the businesses of where they had failure points and having them correct those, one of the ones that they felt very strongly about the importance of was the fencing for creating sort of private space and an enclosure for their facilities. And so what this would look to do is to allow metal fencing, decorative metal fencing, to be allowed to continue to be there, and also increase from 44 feet in height, so that none of the fences that are currently there would need to be removed, as the businesses feel very strongly that they need those fences for their space.
Thank you.
Thanks. And then just the last one, the shared services agreement with Spotswood. Just want to clarify, this is a new agreement. They haven't done this with us before, and they are joining East Brunswick and North Brunswick in this arrangement, as well as New Brunswick. Is that how it works?
Is it working?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, yes, Danielle Moore, Somerset Street. First, I would like to say thank you. It's good to see. Maybe we can continue doing this, how our people, our workers, helpers speak on the resolutions first. I like how you did that so it doesn't kill our time. So I hope we can continue that way. That's a very good thing. Thank you. Now, first, I would like to start off with 14 and 15, due to where, with cleaning services, where I heard mentioned, like, once again, like I said, with Remsen Avenue in certain areas, where I say I did put up a post on Facebook July 13th, due to we're seeing some young ones. It was great to see that it was being cleaned. But my point is, wow, you're paying these people that are cleaning, why are you still paying the parking authority over $75,000 to clean George Street, Eastern Avenue, French Street, and Remsen Avenue? So why are you paying twice to have the same streets clean?
Thank you for your question, Ms. Angeli. It has nothing to do with the contract. Maybe you could ask that at the public comment, but Mr. Dominguez.
Why doesn't you mentioned Remsen Avenue? Remsen Avenue is included with the parking authority, where you pay the parking authority to clean the same street. So why are you paying twice?
Are you talking your questions? Because I don't want to take your time, and then we don't want you.
Okay, hopefully I will still get my question answered. Okay, thank you. Then the next thing far as with George Street, like I said, told you not to open it due to where, wow, it wasn't a good idea, due to where, too many emergency things been going on down there. And like I said, especially due to where, I believe that was July 29. Honestly, I was on standby for a guy who was overheated, but I wasn't going to leave him there with drugs and all in the system. I made sure he was all right, and the police department can tell you. But at that time, I didn't walk down to the other side. That was at the corner of George Street and Patterson. I don't know what happened, but like I said, you did not need to close George Street. It's been over 2 months. A crowd one day of the week. Open George Street back up. I told you. I'm the one already got blessed due to how Mr. Egan said that, oh, God bless me, like I was saying the wrong thing. But no, it's going to all backfire on you. Because like I said, I'm receiving my blessings.
Can you tell me what resolution you're referring to?
That was the same resolution that Mr. Kryler was just talking about, and Mr. Dominguez. with the fences and all, due to where, like I said, not necessary. What, witnessing today, I was at Burger King, George Street, police department down there, at the jewelry store, somebody robbed it or what? How much crime has been happening due to where people know the police cannot get down there? Open George Street back up. Nobody's gonna, and I tell you one reason why it's not working, nobody's gonna be paying. Same thing I told parking authority. Nobody's gonna pay, $20-something to park down here and then to eat? What people that go to the State Theater due to where they're walking all the way up Livingston Avenue, Handy Street parking. Nobody can afford to pay that much parking. That's the one main reason why, due to where, it's not working with outdoor dining. And like I said, the longer you keep it open, keep that road closed, the longer your punishment is going to be.
Thank you, Ms. Anya. Anything else?
Like I said, please, do any of you even go down there and see the business? See what it's like down there? Do any of you go down to George Street?
Ms. Anya, let's speak to the resolution, please.
Like I said, wow, because I forgot what number it was, but wow, it is a resolution. But please, will you answer my question in regards to putting up fencing and all? Do any of you really go down there to investigate what happened? For example, like you investigated with Cold Blue, why don't some of you go down there and see what it's like? It's dead.
Thank you.
So like I said, are you gonna do it?
Continue your resolution comments, please.
Well, okay, maybe I get my answer now as far as with Mr. Dominguez then. Before I sit down, I would like to hear the answer due to why are you paying twice to have these streets clean?
Mr. Dominguez, can you just give
Of
an
course.
explanation?
Yes.
Actually, clarification. on
Sure,
it.
so since there's the two contracts, and one of them's gonna be focused downtown with the Special Improvement District, with those hours that the prior agreement was paying for, this is the new contract, are hours dedicated for those parts of the UEZ outside of the Special Improvement District, the Easton, the French, the Remsen, and the other part of George. So there'll be, I believe, around 60 hours dedicated per week to all those other areas outside of the Special Improvement District. So that's why there's two contracts. It's to pay for that amount of time being put into
But wow, one thing I will say, the parking authority hasn't been putting in their time cleaning the roads. That was the main reason why I put the article up saying, God bless these kids who were down there in the heat in July over there cleaning Remsen Avenue. All the parking authority does, make sure George Street is clean? We had the same issue last year. French Street is not being clean? Come on. Stop, do the right thing.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other member of the public? Seeing none?
Move the resolution.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda,
Yes, with the exception of 29 where I abstain.
duly noted. Councilmember Gaskins,
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes, with the exception of 20, where I vote no, because I thought the intent of that piece of the ordinance was for aesthetics and had nothing to do with the change, and it was the first I was hearing of it today.
And this is for G20?
Yes.
Duly noted. Council Vice President Egan,
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. So I just want to say before we go into the public portion part of the meeting, I just want to thank the police department and anybody who was involved, everyone who was involved. Last night we had the National Night Out. It was an excellent event. We had fun. I missed it. We had a good attendance in all the stops, and I think that we all agree that we had a great time getting to see the community and going to the community last night. Anybody or any other member of the council wishes to say anything before we go into the public portion part? So at this time, we are preparing to open the meeting for public comment for up to 5 minutes per person, one time up. If any members of the public wish to speak during this public comment portion of the meeting, please approach the council.
Good evening once again, Charlie Prattville. I want to second what you had to say about National Night Out. I had the pleasure of being up there at the Schwartz-Robeson Housing Authority headquarters, and I thought it was really nice this year how some officers were there throughout the night, and it wasn't just one big group coming, but they were there, interacting with the kids and the public, and I thought that was good, so wearing my shirt. I have to ask about some personnel changes. It's apparent that Mitch Karen is back as the New Brunswick Parking Authority Executive Director, and I wanted to just ask the council about that. I'm a little surprised I haven't heard it mentioned here. He's been back since June 2nd.
Does anybody has anything to say about that?
Yeah, he's back part-time.
Right, right. And I know Mr. Egan is the liaison. I did put in a call to him this week. I didn't hear back. I know he's been busy this week, but I wanted to hear what he has to say about Mitch returning. Are you happy?
I don't know if he said we don't want anything to say, but
Look, that's okay. I know he's back in a part-time capacity, and I know the gentleman that was there was I believe, terminated. I believe the guy that was there before.
Terminated for what?
I don't know. And I know they let him go. I know he's not there no more.
Oh, that'd be important to know, I would think. He's a top official of getting the
You have
act.
to ask the parking, why don't you go to the parking authority?
I did.
Did he tell you?
Well, they said that, they agreed mutually to move on.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, then I have it wrong then. I apologize.
okay. What does this mean, though, for the future of the old supermarket, the fresh grocer? What's going to happen there? Because for the longest time, there was this plan, the county was going to rent it. That's apparently fallen through, right?
I will find out that information for you.
I'd appreciate it. And regarding our other autonomous authority, can you tell me who's replacing John Clark as the executive director?
I don't know where I can refer you to, but I'll try, but I've never heard anything about that.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Is it true he's separating from the authority? He's leaving?
Again, I have no.
You haven't heard that?
On that, and I have no knowledge or heard anything like that, so I will find out.
Okay, yeah, I got to express some frustration with the situation there. Of course, I've brought up Mr. Clark's many other jobs, and I don't know if you know this, the place is still closed to the public. It's the only government building I know of that's still closed for the pandemic, and you have to talk to somebody through a little doorbell if you go there. I filed many OPA requests with the agency. Some are very simple, some require an immediate response, and I haven't gotten it. I saw Mr. Clark for all of 10 minutes last night while you were there at the authority. He went right back in the building, and I wasn't able to catch up with him. I went there today, he's not there. I'm just concerned that the authority's violating the OPRA and also racking up huge legal bills. And for instance, my ethics complaint against a commissioner and the redevelopment attorney, in just a few months, the attorneys billed $20,000 to help the commissioner defend herself in the ethics board hearing, and Mr. Hoffman had his own attorney, but that seems really problematic. And I know this firm was billed, or they were paid $145,000 in 2022 for just one law firm, Manfredi and Colecchio. There was only $55,000 in the budget, so that's like almost 3 times the budget. And they're just billing like crazy for all these small things. They're billing to watch New Brunswick Today videos. They're billing to, study up on the mayor election last year, stuff that really is not appropriate for them to be billing the taxpayers for. And, I wanted to raise that concern. I've been trying to get some answers. Been trying to just figure out Mr. Clark's salary for a good month. I can't get a straight answer because the budget from last year is not approved yet. It's not on the website. And also, they canceled their most recent meeting. So do you know why they canceled their most recent meeting? I'm just dying to figure it out.
To the best of my knowledge, that before.
Yeah, see, it just doesn't make any sense. They've had 7 meetings scheduled this year. They've only held 3 of them. They pick the dates of the meetings. They're on Zoom, so you can join from anywhere in the world where you have the internet, and they're like 10 or 15 minutes long. So why can't a quorum of housing authority members get together once a month? It just baffles me and makes me think that there's something else going on, that they don't want to face the public, or that Mr. Clark's not prepared to have a monthly meeting. And so I'm concerned. I apologize if I have bad information. He's not really leaving, but I want to know what his future is with the authority, and hopefully that's something you can look into. And then finally, I have to ask about Anthony Jones Jr., who I brought up at the last meeting. I know you were not here, Council President. Police officer who resigned in disgrace after being criminally charged with an assault in our city, and he's now the newest firefighter. So I wanted to ask, who's in charge of background checks for the fire department?
Time is up.
Yeah, can I get that answer? Who's in charge of?
I'll try to get you that.
Thank you.
Hi, yes, Daniel Moore. I will continue due to where, like I said, very upset with you council members and with our police department, where last meeting we were talking about due to where government giving a grant for drinking and driving. Wow, New Brunswick is doing a horrible job due to where, wow, that was July 19th, drinking a drunk driver on the corner of Livingston Avenue and Seaman Street. Then, wow, July 22nd, due to on Juliet Street, hit 8 parked cars. What is New Brunswick Police Department doing? And then I will get to the subject. Come on, get these damn drugs off this street. Too many overdoses. Wow, it's not, believe me, I post pictures, but wow, believe me, it's not just black due to where the Lord told me to watch over 3 people. Now it's been raised to 6 people with this Xanilin, Trank, and fentanyl mixed with drugs. Please, if I can see the damn cells at Pittman Park, on George Street across from Eric B. Chandler, down here on George Street, I know the police can. Why are they not getting it off the street? Because I tell you, wow, it's coming in every race due to where prayers. Even though guy just died 2 days ago over on Jones Avenue from it, then what, due to where you still got, even though people argue with me when I said panhandler, but the mom, she thanked me for not giving out the name due to where people got angry with me. I don't care. I know which way is the best way. But wow, where a man is still fighting for his life, he's in a coma been over 2 weeks now, due to where that was on the corner of, like I said, by 7-Eleven across from Eric B. Chandler, due to where, and believe me, the police department can tell you, due to where, wow, like I said, the Lord leads me to somebody that needs help, how many times I'm calling in, how if I see somebody there, even if they're not family, they don't have to be family or same blood, I still will not let nobody sit there to die. But this is getting outrageous in New Brunswick. Come on, how many damn overdoses? Come on, what are these detectives doing? Are they getting out here stopping it due to where I just saw, what, a raid going on in Lee Avenue between Handy Street and Seaman Street, but that wasn't New Brunswick Police Department. But like I said, I didn't stay there to see due to where, what, that was SWAT team and all over there. But when are they going to get these damn drugs off the street? Come on. The first of the month, you know, majority of them get their money. Wow, you hardly never see a damn police car in sight, please. What, honestly, I really know why I'm not getting off the street. But like I said, for my own safety, I will have to keep that to myself. But anybody who's been living here 46 years as I will, and to see the difference, come on. And I'm very upset due to what are you council members doing? But like I said, one thing I am glad about, I see the Lord is working with me. Like I said, New Brunswick's going to see a change. Because like I said, each one of you racists and devils is going to be taken out of here one by one. You see one is going, I hear another one's about to go, so get ready to go. You think you're out the woods? Like I said, once a devil, always a devil, and you will still receive your punishment once you do transfer or retire. Like I said, I can see, and like I said, yeah, keep smiling. You think I'm joking? Due to where you will have your day. Like I said, once a devil, always a devil. But and then I will say, thank you, Jesus. The Lord answered another blessing. I'm glad Mr. Mitch is back. He's one that takes me seriously only in that doggone traffic meeting. What? Due to where what? How many things I've been asking for? Whether what? God bless Mr. Ron Sanders. I'm doing a lovely picture for him too, just like what he was like Mr. Laughlin, due to where care shows respect. Wow, whenever I say I see something, does it take him damn 6 months to respond to something? No, it doesn't. He's there with me. Like I said, please, we need more people like them due to where what? If you're an engineer, if I'm a person that sees things ahead of time, that'll take me damn seriously, because none of you don't, do you? And none of you don't. Like I said, for you, anybody to say anything, but come on, start thinking about other people's safety, especially around that school. What, drugs that says no loitering? Why the police won't move those people over there? What, somebody got stabbed over there a week and a half ago in the parking lot, all the blood over there. Like I said, the Lord has been putting me in the spot at the right time to get all the videos. I don't have no police radio or anything. I just be walking wherever the Lord leads me to, but get them people away from the school zone. Clean it out due to where men pulling out their penis, pissing, and please, what, New Brunswick Police Department doesn't do a damn thing? Why? Because they're not black? Like I said, what is the law? You can do whatever the hell you want in New Brunswick as long as you're not black? We wasn't able to do it, then why are they? Racism. But like I said, New Brunswick, a change is going to come. Because all of you racists and devils will be out of here.
Thank you, have a wonderful day. Next, please.
Hi there, April Lopez, 143 City M Street. Really happy to see the rent control ordinance amendment on the agenda for first reading today. I was wondering when that will be available to the public to read through.
Clerk's office should have it in the morning.
Yeah, we should have it in the morning. Great.
And I did want to follow up on a question from a prior meeting about the timeline for getting the traffic light by the new school up. Do we have any update on that timeline? The new school on Jersey Avenue, the traffic light that's supposed to be.
The traffic light. Is Mr. Valenti here?
It is. Based upon,
I'm sorry, Mr. Brown was blowing.
not a problem. Based upon the latest updates with equipment delivery, the signal is expected to be operational sometime during the second week. The plan being, in the meantime, is in addition to the crossing guards at Hale, the police is going to put temporary patrols during the morning inbound and also the dismissal times.
Thank you.
Until such time that the signal's up and operational.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then I do want to just, state another issue that I brought up before that I'm concerned about, which is the implementation of the closure on George Street. I'm certainly a little frustrated that so much of that space that's closed off is literally just empty. Not only are the businesses not using that space, but there's no community amenities in that space. It's just an empty road with a fence at the end of it. And I am generally very supportive of the idea of closing that section of the road, and I think that it's, there's a lot of potential for what can be done with it. And I've previously raised how I think it could be a great benefit to the community if we had something as simple as public seating available. So I'm a little disappointed to see that the space is not only not being used for that, but not being used at all, and is really benefiting no one. So I wanted to just voice some frustration there. And then I do want to echo some concerns from an earlier speaker about the really significant drug crisis in our city, and I'm hoping that there might be something that the council or other officials in the city can say about what is actually being done to combat that crisis. Do you know if the city has any initiatives to try and tackle the drug crisis here?
I would get you concrete information. I don't want to misspoke. I know that there have been some initiatives, but I will get you more information for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public?
This is the public portion, right? Good, I made it.
You did.
Good. You guys, I'm gonna update you guys and tell you about this new contract. It's pretty shitty that they offered us with the 2.6 raise increase. So we're gonna go through the math right here so I can show you what some of these guys are going through. So this is my last pay stub. Everybody pretty much saw me open it at the door. So my last pay stub, I had $1,199 as, the check. But keep in mind, 4 of those hours, which is $120 out of that check, was 4 hours overtime working on a Saturday. So if you take away those overtime hours, because you don't get those every week, that leaves me with a check of $1,079 after taxes every 2 weeks. So let's do the math. If you times that by 2, because that's what I get monthly, is $21.58. And I apologize, I lost my voice. Let's take out the $1,400 in rent. That leaves me with $758. Let's take out, we're not gonna include cable. Let's talk about the light bill. That's been about $150 because of the raises. That leaves me with $608. Let's take out the food. I spend about $100 because I'm not married and I don't have any kids, thank God. I don't have a car note, thankfully. So let's include the car insurance, which I pay about $209 a month, right? That leaves me at $299. We haven't even got into other things like the water. We haven't even got into, the gas that I have to commute back and forth from where I live to work. The cell phone bill, that $299 goes down to $100 because I paid $200 in a cell phone bill that I also use for work. That leaves me with $99. That's at the end of the month. So you can imagine between those 2 weeks, it's very much of a struggle. You know, we don't have the luxury of driving around our city vehicles on our off time. We don't have the luxury, so 2.6 increase is pretty shitty. They want us to be happy because they're freezing the insurance that they constantly use to raise the insurance all of a sudden to keep us from getting a raise, seeing the raise for 2 years, which I think it's pretty insane. They're talking about these new positions that they want to add, and however, these positions are still kind of up and down because they give those positions to who they want to, because as of current, we have a few workers that have had promotions behind the scenes that we did not know about, and they just signed over those promotions like Labor 3, Labor 2, and all these other positions behind the scenes, didn't let anyone else know so that they didn't have the opportunity to fill out for that. So that's the fault of the union, allowing you guys that I also think that they work for you, and I feel like they also, you guys know about that as well too, which is very wrong. Yet and still we have to work through hazards. Oh, and that's another thing. They also told us in the last union meeting that our hazard pay went to the water department. I'd love to see the receipts for that. That place is not that many years old. I would like to know what you needed to upgrade there. That's insane. Mind you, we're in a building that probably was built when Caesar was king. The ground is messed up. There's rats running around in the ceilings as well. You know, but when you go to the side where the police cars are being fixed, you know, they have the lifts where they lift the cars up off the ground. Their cars are not staying there 2-3 days, 2-3 weeks. They get fixed instantly. They get fixed instantly. Our side, the men have to get on the ground and service the vehicles, garbage trucks on the ground, looking up and fixing up whatever they have to fix up. Half the time they won't even look at them if there's garbage on the truck. You know? So I would like to know, if you were gonna spend our money without permission, why didn't you at least upgrade the yard? You guys are hiring all these new drivers, these new people, and there's nowhere to park. There's nowhere to park the city vehicles. You know, the police section next to us, they get one little hole in the ground, you patch it up instantly. The parking lot is cracked up, all on the ground. You just now trim the trees. You know, thank you, I guess. You know, you trim the trees. Like, you know, you are not really running. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, how did you get your job? I don't really know you think you know what you're doing with the budget. It's insane. It's really insane. And then to offer that shitty contract to these guys that are servicing your garbage every day, and then if they call out, they're not a good employee. That's what you said, right?
Thank you. Anybody else in the public wishes to address?
Small group tonight. Good evening. Chris Reinhardt, New Brunswick. I'd just like to lead, like I did last time I spoke with, I think New Brunswick is a terrific place to be and a terrific city to live in. And when I sit here and listen to many of the complaints, I take that to heart, but I also put it in the frame of like a family where, you know, your kids yell and scream at you, but they still sort of love you and they still hope that you do the right thing. Now, don't take that as an insult, but you guys are here today railing on this council in your own town and angry at your council because you do care, and I get that. You're not in East Brunswick or Highland Park making some of these same complaints because, quite frankly, that's not your bedroom as members of the family. So I appreciate some of the complaints. What bothers me is when the complaints rise to the level that really start costing the city time, resources, money to battle against. And I feel that that's disingenuous on the part of the people bringing those matters to your attention, because it's in many ways self-serving when it costs the city that much time and money and resources to sometimes defend itself and sometimes to just respond when there's probably a better way to do it, whether it's through constituent services or whether it's through companies that were hired to put out tweets, or whether it's setting up a table out in the parking lot to interact for more than 5 minutes per person when there are concerns. Maybe that's something that will come. As far as George Street closure, which I lovingly refer to as a dumpster fire, I appreciate that there were some changes to the resolution. I suspected those would happen, rather than have some of the companies actually comply with what was written by the experts. The metal fencing, for example, looks better without that ornation on it, but it's still metal fencing, which was not the original intent, and social room is just, should be literally hauled away. Maybe Brittany and her co-workers could be detailed to that. As we move forward, because I know that you're working to make George Street better, there's probably a better way than closing it the way it's closed, and I think we need to look at and hear from you some alternatives. As we move through the rest of this year, and as we move into 2024, I will close by saying, and forgive me if I get this wrong, elige sabiamente, todos nomos New Brunswick. Choose wisely, we are all New Brunswick. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council? Seeing none?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes.